first tutorial for my channel, so hopefully you will enjoy it. This time I will make a 3D illustration with C4D and Redshift. This project was done for Microsoft a couple of years ago. Mainly it was done in C4D and Octane, but this time I will do it in C4D and Redshift. So basically this is my scene. It is pretty simple and easy to understand. I have my light setup. So there are two area light and a dome light, which is included HDRI. So one area light is from the top and other is from the side. So they are basically straightforward. And for the floor, I used a plane and a bend effector to make it like kind of surrounded. And for the HDRI, I have used a Creative Office HDRI from Grayscale Gorilla, I guess. And I've used C4D R26 version. So there is like new Redshift, and I really like some changes here. I've used like pretty straightforward Redshift setup. So let's turn on the illustration and do it from the scratch. I'll start with a cube, and I know how was my parameters, so I'll try to make it simple, not go for a lot of experiment here. Otherwise it will take a lot of time. So the cube is like 200 centimeter length and 20 centimeter width, and I have put a large segment because I will bend it. So for now I'm going with 150, and let's bring the bend deformer so that we can bend it. So initially it will match the current position of the cube, but we have to do some tweak. We have to do some changes in the rotation. See, now it's working, but I think we are not in the right direction yet. And yeah, now we are on the right direction, because if we want that our path will follow the direction, then we need the bend deformer in this way. So this will help us to keep the length of the cube so that we are not distorting the cube. This way we can animate the cube, the path. Mainly the main project, I did the animation there, but now I will not go for that animation because it is very straightforward. We just need to animate the position of the bend deformer. So this project was like a kind of conceptual, because this path is like showing the different layer of learning. So this layer 1, that's almost already solid, and now I'm making the layer 2. That's almost the same parameters, just some little repositioning. let's make the third layer. First two layers are already constructed, so that's now we're making the the way of construction. Now we can make the another one which will basically show the construction process in detail, but we can use almost the same parameters, but for this one we will go a little different way, because if we use the same cube there are some issues, so I'm using a plane, so it will be helpful for us to get the shape we want. So same bend, we can push a little higher so that we can have more bendings here. I really like to keep the screen clean, so mostly I use the animation preset for my workflow, because it gives more sense what is going on the screen, unless I need some deformer or like other elements to work on. So tiny one is almost set, so now we will work on the Jackie one. So this will be more interesting and different from others layers. As we are using plane, so we can use cloth surface to give some depth of that to that layer. Now I'm using -1, and maybe we can change it later, or maybe -0.5 to mess with other cubes. We'll use a poly effects to break all the polygons, so that we can use the plane effector from MoGraph. We'll use two plane effectors. This one will just scale down all the polygon, so we are giving the name scale down. We don't need position, we need only scale. Yeah, so that's basically we need from this plane effector. If we turn on the cloth surface, then we can see how it looks. Maybe we can add a bevel deformer. sorry. Point will be fine, I think. Or 0.1, yeah. It's okay. We can always change these parameters according to our necessity. So now it is for the whole cube, whole layer. We don't want it. If you want to make something like this, maybe we can make most of the layer solid and some part can remain under construction. We can use linear. Yeah. Where is the linear? Yes. We need to change the orientation, I guess, because now it's not on the right direction. Let's do it. Yeah, I think that works fine. So we can change the position to match how far we want for the construction part. We need another plane effector to give some variation. Now it is all like symmetrical, but we can add some randomization. For this one we will only go for some position, or we can also add some rotation if we want, but let's see. We're putting all the field in under the bend, so that if we animate the bend only, it will work all together. So that's for the animation part. We are putting all the field under the bend deformer. Let's adjust the box field. We can offset only one part, so that we can have some variation. Yes, this looks good to me. Some rotation will add little more interest, I guess. Yeah. So that's basically the modeling part. We can easily animate the shape with the animation of bend deformer. And yeah, so that's basically the modeling part. Okay, let's jump into the interesting part, lighting. and texturing. So the project was basically done in Octane, but this time I will do it in Redshift. So for the dome light, I have used Creative Office HDRI. So we will use some gradient, I mean ramp, definitely. So let's take new material, new standard material. I'll not go deep into the material part because I mean there is nothing to be deep here. I have used like mostly straightforward setting. So we'll use basically glass material, and in the transmission we will use gradient to have an interesting color. That's basically it. Pretty much straightforward. And this is very ugly color. uh, but we can change it to make it look good, or maybe we can use any presets. If it doesn't work, then we can change the mapping, vertical, real, but vertical is fine in my case, so I will go with that. And I'm using the preset that I've used earlier while I was testing, so I will not go for color testing in this time, but you can do it by yourself. You can use a different color. So make another material for the layer 2. This time it is for the layer 1. I don't know why it is not working. It is not resetting. Maybe we need to delete it and do it again. That's like extra layer of work, but I don't know why it is not working. That way it should work, but no problem, we can do it. For the first layer we will use a simple color gradient with only 2 color, because we want our first layer will be more colorful. and the rest of the layers will be pretty much simple. Let's check in the renderware. Yeah, it's working fine, I think. We can change, we can see how it looks. Okay, let's create another material for the middle layer. This time it will be material, standard material, not the new one, the old one. Same thing, the ramp to the color of transmission, and change the color more whitish color so that we can see through this path. Now it looks beautiful actually, right? Yeah, that's basically it. We're almost done. Maybe we can add some purple or different color with a tiny one so that it pops out a little bit more. If you think that it is helpful for you, then please share your opinion, and at the same time give me suggestion so that I can improve. and hopefully you have enjoyed and learned something. If you learned something, please hit the like button, because that will be super helpful for me. And if there is any question or anything else, please let me know. I will try to cover it.